Let's stick with Auburn. I want to actually talk some Auburn big visit weekend recruiting. And if we're going to talk Auburn recruiting right now, we're starting with quarterback Longstreet, who's out of California, and he was on the plains for a visit this weekend. Steve, how important was this visit for Longstreet to Auburn?
Well, with him going to announce his college decision this coming Sunday, this was maybe his last visit of the process before he announces his
Right.
college plans. And his dad said it's up in the air. He's going to need yesterday and today. They hope to have it ironed out by tonight, what he's going to do. But Texas A&M was considered the leader going into this past week, and A&M had him on campus last weekend. Then he went to Ole Miss. Then he went to Oregon, and he rounded out by coming back to Auburn for a second time this spring for the spring game. His first visit, he loved the way Auburn practiced, loved the tempo, loved the way the guys were getting after it. This is a place where the family thinks it's prime for a quarterback like him to come in. They have everything else. They recruited an outstanding receiver class last cycle, two straight legit championship caliber type recruiting classes under Hugh Freeze and company here now. And Husan Longstreet just getting around the fans, getting around the coaching staff again, felt very comfortable. And one where it looked like A&M was pulling away, Auburn has pulled right back into it, and it would not be surprising to see him end up on the plains as well. And one thing I want to add, Josh, is he's an Under Armour athlete. He was in a Super Bowl commercial with Tom Brady, the Under Armour Next athlete, Auburn's connection with Under Armour. That's another nice wrinkle in this recruitment. But quarterback development is the number one reason for what he's making his college decision on. It's coming down to Auburn and A&M. Colin Klein, A&M's offense, being around that football team, Coach Mike Elko, he's felt very comfortable there. But Auburn getting this last visit is definitely, at the very least, made things interesting as we head into the final week of Husan Longstreet's recruitment.
Yeah, I want to talk about three other big-name visitors that were out on the plains this week. And we'll start with wide receiver C.J. Wiley. He's out of Milton, Georgia, number 260 overall, but he's a big-time priority for Auburn. How do they sit with C.J. Wiley?
Well, he's higher in the On3 rankings, and he's sky high in the SEC, ACC rankings. This is as priority a pass catcher as there is in the 2025 recruiting cycle after helping Milton win a state championship as a junior. Georgia has been considered the one to beat, but they got a lot of competition. Auburn certainly in there. This was an official visit for him. Spent time with Perry Thompson and the staff. They loved the Auburn offense. Auburn's real attractive. He was recently at Florida State. Several programs in the mix here, but Auburn, one of them on the short list for C.J. Wiley right now.
All right, now moving on to an elite defensive lineman, actually the number 3 ranked defensive lineman in the country, Nate Marshall. And coming out of this one, now he's from Illinois, but coming out of this visit, he said that Auburn was definitely top 5. Who do you think the biggest competition is for Nate Marshall with Auburn now involved?
Well, I think Auburn's even higher than top 5. Miami is certainly a program that I look at as Auburn's major competition. He's going to be at Miami's spring game next, but this was an opportunity for him to get back down to Auburn and get around Coach Vontrell Williams-King. Hugh Freeze and the staff said it was a great feel. He said this atmosphere at the spring game rivaled his game experience on the plains in the fall, and he said the scene was crazy. So just the amount of love and support that the football program gets made for a great experience, but just the commitment to their student athletes. He talked about what they pour into them off the field as well as on the field makes Auburn an exciting place for him, and he certainly feels like he's one of their top overall players on the board. He feels the same about Miami. Illinois is in there. This young man's mom was an All-American basketball player at DePaul. She's in DePaul's Hall of Fame. His grandfather played basketball at Illinois. They're looking at the Illini. A recent really strong visit to Alabama for Nathaniel Marshall with the new staff, so Alabama rising there. But Auburn and Miami, they've been mainstays in this recruitment, and the Hurricanes are next up with their spring game.
All right. Last prospect I want to hit on in terms of Auburn is safety Eric Winters, and he's from Enterprise, Alabama. Top 100 overall prospects. So we're talking elite of the elite right here with Winters. Auburn trending near 90% on his recruiting prediction machine. Are they close to closing this recruitment out with Eric Winters?
Well, he says he's got a few favorites. I like where Auburn stands in that group. Georgia, Tennessee, Miami, some of the other schools that he's visited and looking strongly at. But he said the spring game is crazy like always. He believes Coach Freeze and the program are trending the right way. He's talked about how he's seen Auburn win at the highest level, and to be part of the group that helps them get back to where they belong. He thinks that would be pretty special. I think Auburn is in pole position for Eric Winters right now. They got to hold off Georgia, Tennessee, and Miami.
All right. Really effective recruiting weekend. Auburn Live does a great job of covering all things recruiting and football for the Tigers. Go check that out. But a huge weekend for Auburn recruiting. Thank you for watching this video. And if you enjoyed that, go check out the hundreds of videos that we have on this channel. And also do me a favor, hit subscribe to the On3 Recruits channel.